Grant, welcome to the Safe Haven. Safe Haven, welcome, Grant. Is it recording?
It is recording. And just real quick, guys, just a fast reminder, nothing you hear on this recording is financial advice, and AMAs are a chance for us to ask questions. They are not an endorsement. DC, take it away, my man. Community Coin AMA, let's go.
Got you. Let's do it. All right, so guys, this is Grant from Community Coin, and his whole entire coin, the difference between him and most charity coins is he is actually going out of his way to find specific families that would need things instead of giving it to a cause that takes care of everything for him, because we know that charities tend to have a bad reputation in this space and just in general, but just especially in this space. So he really runs a charity and he's putting a different twist on his. And so what we're here trying to figure out now is what makes his charity different from others. You know, we're going to pay attention to the way he talks, his principles, his values. That way we can get an understanding of him, because with this type of project, the most important thing is the character of the person who's behind it and the team that's with him. So we can go ahead and get into it. Grant, go ahead and just start off telling something about yourself, man, your background coming into the space and what made you want to start up a charity.
DC, what's happening, my man? Thank you for having me. First of all, it's great talking to you. I think that you and I have been talking very often since probably the past 2 weeks, and I'm very grateful for that. Welcome, everybody. My name is Community Grant, but my real name is Grant Tragney. I'm a fully doxed founder of Community Coin. 24 years old. I'll give you the full rundown on me, because I think that the best part about projects is honesty and transparency, and those are two pillars that we really love at Community Coin. I'm 24 years old, like I said. I got my undergraduate degree in industrial systems engineering from a school in upstate New York called Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, short RPI. I got my master's there too in quantitative finance. Sounds very difficult, really not as hard as it sounds. And right out of school, I knew that I didn't want to work. I knew that I didn't want to work for somebody. Not that I didn't want to work, because I love to work. I just didn't want to work for somebody. So I started working for a financial technology company, and really dreaded it. It wasn't the company. It was just my absolute feeling every morning saying, I can do more. I can do more. So then I started hearing about crypto. I love crypto, and I never got into it. So I said, okay, I'm going to dip my toes in it. So I started getting involved in a few different projects, never as a developer, never as a founder, never on the admin team, but just dipping my toes, joining Telegram groups, joining Discords, hearing what works and what didn't work. I got slammed a couple of times, a couple of things worked out, but all in all, it was just the community aspect that I really loved. So after a few months of that, I said, you know what, I can start my own. I see what is working, I see what's not working, and I always want to take ownership. I always want to take leadership. So I started my own. This was about a year ago, last October, so about 13 months ago, and I started a coin, a different project. And it was extremely successful. Yes, different time period in the crypto space. However, it was extremely successful. I was the owner of it for 40 days. I sold it on the 41st day. And during those 40 days, we had a market cap of 90 million. We also had around 8,000 holders. And the best part is we donated $50,000 to charities supporting veterans and first responders. So that's a different project, but that's my experience in crypto. So then after that happened, I sold the ownership, and I said, you know what, I want to start building my real business, which my real business is a mental health advocate. I own a mental health company where I speak to different corporations and different employees from different companies around the United States. So I really went 110% into that. And in the past year, I've spoken to over 3,000 different employees from Fortune 500 companies to mom and pop shops about mental health and about how they can be the best versions of themselves. Because at the root of it, my passion in life is helping people and giving back, because we are very fortunate. I'm sure if we're all listening here today that we are fortunate in some way, shape, or form. Absolutely, we have difficulties. We have things in life that are hard, that drag us down. But for the most part, if we're able to tune into an AMA, if we're able to go grocery shopping, if we're able to put gas in our car, then we are very fortunate people. So I spent the past year doing that, but something was itching at me that I wanted to do more, that I wanted to get back into the crypto space, that I wanted to make a project that can not only help its holders, but can help people around the world. So I was working with a nonprofit, a 501c3, with my mental health company a few months ago. I said, you know what? There's nothing in the crypto space like this. Yes, there's a lot of donation coins. There's a lot of charity coins, but a lot of these things kind of hop and drop. They'll make a donation and then they'll kind of forget it. They'll say all these grand things, but not really do much of it. And at the root, they aren't there to help people. So I said, why not have a 501c3, which is a nonprofit, in the crypto space? I said, well, it's never been done. But for something to start and for something to be real in a space, somebody has to do it first. And I said, well, why not me? Why not this? And I said, well, what's the best aspect about crypto that I really love? And it's community. It's not just having a chart that goes berserk. It's not just having things that you can do, but it's a community of people all with the same goal. So I said, why not start a community coin where we can become the first ever 501c3, which is a nonprofit crypto project? It's a grand goal. It's a grand goal, but we are reverse engineering to get to that spot. So I know that you really were just asking about me and about everything, but that's just my little 2 cents on Community Coin. And before we get really into that, the thing is, DC knows this by now. We've been talking a lot. You give me an inch and I'll take it a mile. I'll keep speaking all day long because I love to talk. But I really, really am passionate about this project, and I'm excited to talk more about it. And I'm excited to talk about all of the great things that we've done, the great things that we are doing, and the great things that we're continuing to do.
Absolutely. Yep. That's how Grant is, man. That's the good thing about having him. You know, the worst of the people that host an AMA are the people who you ask them one thing, they can talk for 2 minutes about whatever it is they're doing, and they can't say much else, you know. So that's why it's good to have him on here. So, you know, you guys understand right off the bat that I can tell you what separates him from other charity projects already is that when he was making another project that wasn't even a charity focused project, he went ahead and started giving money. And that was the part that he was the most excited about. Like, if you listen to everything he said, the part that he highlighted and got the most excited about is when he said he would give 50,000. Most charity projects, they come into the space, they create charities because it will help them get money. Most people who create charities in the space don't have a background of it, you know. And even when Grant wasn't, like I said, even before he really knew that he wanted to do this in space, he already integrated a charity aspect into what he was already doing. And that just shows that it came intrinsically from him. So that's really huge there. So next question I want to ask about the charity, man, is how will you plan on finding out these? Well, no, let me ask this first. What's the strategy to find the different families? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to find those different families and whatnot to give to?
Absolutely. A fantastic question. And it is difficult. However, so what has Community Coin done already? Well, this is day 19 since launch. Day 19. So it's very, very young. It's very, very, I would say, I wouldn't say immature, but we're building. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But on day 4, we donated $2,500 to Save the Children. So we just wanted to start by donating to a great cause. I've worked with Save the Children before at my church growing up, and they do a lot of great things, and I wanted to help out with them. So we put it up to a vote within the Discord, and they voted for Save the Children. But now the focus is having a direct impact, is having boots on the ground and having real impact, and not just donating to a huge charity or a huge foundation, which is great, but there's also flaws because obviously the CEO will get paid, or you're not exactly sure where that money is going, or they might get so many donations. I actually saw a tweet this morning from Mark Cuban that made a great point. He tweeted something in the sort of, there are a lot of charities out there, but there's not a lot of charity. So there's a lot of different foundations out there that say they do X, Y, and Z. Do we really know the details of all of it? No. But there's a lot of great organizations out there that help a lot. But what's a lot more important than just money is helping out in terms of giving people opportunities, giving people a chance to speak their mind, giving people a way out, helping people that are so in need that won't ask for help. So your question was, how do we find those families that we want to help? So what we're doing for Thanksgiving, November is a big month for us because we're finding families from around the United States that need help, that can't afford groceries for their Thanksgiving dinner. And it might sound so minuscule or minute, but to be a father or to be a mother of 4 children or 5 children and working 100 hours a week and still not being able to afford getting a turkey or getting whatever it may be for Thanksgiving, that crushes people. So what Community Coin is doing is we're finding those families and we're sponsoring them during this time of giving back and this time of thanks and paying for their groceries so that they're able to provide food and a Thanksgiving dinner for their family. And it might not sound too important to us, but I'm sure that there's fathers in here, I'm sure that there's parents in here that know how extremely important it is to provide for your family. So the difficulty is finding those families. There are great avenues out there, different charities that will get you linked up directly with certain families that are looking for help. But what I'm doing, the game plan, is calling different homeless shelters, calling different outreach centers, calling different churches, calling different people around the country, around the Northeast, around the Southeast, wherever it may be, and finding those families and finding those people that really need help, but they're too embarrassed to ask. And it's difficult. It's very difficult to find those people. But I have the resources. I have the community is growing and word of mouth is fantastic. And we're finding out those families that need help and we're providing help for them. We haven't solidified the families yet. However, it's only November 2nd. So we have until November 24th. There's a lot of work to be done. But I truly believe that this is going to be a fantastic thing because we're going to see that direct impact. And whether that's only helping out 3, 4, 5 families or possibly helping out 15, 20 families, that's going to be fantastic. Even more so, I met with a CBS News representative down in North Carolina. They are very interested in Community Coin and all of the great things that it's already done. They are very interested in the path and the focus of it. Do they quite understand crypto? Not necessarily. However, they love that this is a way to give back. So what they're doing is they're also on the hunt for families that they know of, a local news station that they know of that need help. So I'm hitting it at every single angle, every single avenue. I'm constantly on the phone, constantly talking to different shelters and saying, hey, do you know of anybody? Can you get me in contact? And we're throwing as many darts at the board and we're going to get a few bullseyes. And by doing that, I know that we're going to have that direct impact. I know that we're going to have that help that they need. And by doing so, we're going to provide content to post it out. And it's going to be anonymous. We don't want to highlight the people's names and if people don't want that. But just showing all of the great things that we do. And by doing so, we get great press. And by getting great press, you get more people knowing what Community Coin is. And more people knowing what Community Coin is means that we can help more people because we're going to be able to push this out and going to be able to expand and broaden our horizons. So yes, it's going to be difficult finding out the names, but we just as a community voted yesterday that we're going to be doing this. The vote ended yesterday at 12 p.m. Eastern that we're going to sponsor families. It was either give money to an organization, sponsor different families, or co-sponsor and have boots on the ground at a homeless shelter or soup kitchen during Thanksgiving time. This is what the community voted on, and I absolutely love this. It's going to be a tough task at hand, but I am the person for the job because I know that I will not rest until I find out directly some different families around the country that need help because there are so many of them, and we just don't know about it because they are, imagine being a father of 3 children and you're struggling just to put gas in your car. So you're thinking, you know what, I can't afford a turkey and everything that comes with it this year. That crushes people. It absolutely crushes people. So we at Community Coin are finding those people through every single avenue. Like I said, calling churches, calling homeless shelters, calling news stations like we already have been in connection with, having meetings with Barstool Sports, running ads with them, getting the word out that we are there to help. And we are trying to, the goal is by mid-November to solidify those families so that we can provide them the money to go grocery shopping and grocery shop with them, whatever it may be, so that we can help provide for them so they can provide for their families. So long-winded answer, DC, but it's a difficult task, but we have the avenues, we have the different ways, and we have the different people within the community to help out and to find those people.
Awesome, man. Yeah. And one thing that, if you guys, paid attention close to what he was saying, he was mentioning finding families, and it mentioned finding families. It's the reason why he's finding them. Instead, Iwanioba, we're going to be open up the, I'll unmute you. You can ask your question later. He's going to, they pretty much, they want to ensure that the money that people put towards this charity, the money that they put towards this charity, goes to the right people for the right reason. Because there are a lot of people, like a lot of homeless people that you see, could get a job. They could be doing better for themselves, but they're choosing not to. What Grant, if you pay attention to his wording, he is focusing on the people that fall into these, just unfortunate circumstances. Because guys, let's get real. Life happens sometimes. Sometimes life just happens and you can't help it. And I always say, if you're not broke or poor, everybody, unless you came from a wealthy family who actually shared the money with you, and like I said, guys, we're going to be answering questions later. I'll open up the VC later. But if you haven't come from a family of money that's giving that money to you, everybody is either poor and broke or has been poor and broke at some point, because money is not that easy. Even if you think about it, even if you make $250,000 a year, a house costs you $250,000 a year. So if you buy a house, which really you're just digging yourself into debt, like, you're still broke. Like, even people who are making six figures a year, they're still broke because of all the costs they have. It costs $250,000 about to raise a kid from age 0 to 18. Money is not easy for people to just generally come by. Now, if you've got mentalities like we do, well, then yeah, it'd be different. But everybody ain't got that, and people come after unfortunate circumstances. So that's one thing that I want to point out that adds to the legitimacy of what Grant's doing, is he's not just throwing money out anywhere. He wants to know where the money's going. And speaking of, one thing you said was about people who are ashamed to ask for help. Anybody would, well, most people would be ashamed to ask help if they're having trouble providing for their family. But I definitely think that it's more of a focus on men who would be ashamed, because men are the leaders, and there's a lot of pressure for men to make money. And, me personally, if I had a family, me personally, the way I would like it to be is me be the main breadwinner. I would want my wife to be a stay-at-home mom, and I would just bring the money home. I just want her to stay at home, raise the kids, teach the kids, etc. That's me. But it's true, we do have an unnecessary pressure on men to, quote unquote, provide and make money. You hear it in all the music, you hear it in all the TV shows. You hear women saying it all the time. They want a six-figure man, broke boys. You hear people calling people betas over money, things like that. I think men should provide, and there should be something there, but I think it's excessive in this society, and that causes men to feel a bit ashamed. So on the anonymity side, how do you feel about doing things in an anonymous way so the people who need help will actually step out and get it? How do you feel about that?
It's difficult. You're talking about the anonymity, right? You were going a little bit in and out on that one.
Anonymity.
Yeah, it's difficult, and a lot of times the people that really need help, they'll never say a word. They would rather lose their last dollar than ask for help, and that is just the way that some people are. It's the way that some people are wired, definitely. But the great thing is that there's different avenues to find those people that are too afraid to help, that are too afraid to ask for help. Sometimes a lot of them will continuously go to different shelters or go to different soup kitchens, but they won't say a word. Or they'll ask for help at church, but they won't ask it out loud. They'll talk to a pastor or a priest or somebody quietly and say, hey, what can I do? And the church will set and organize things that can help them out. Like a lot of times you see it too with GoFundMe's. GoFundMe is a difficult time too, because most people, if they really need help, they'll never create a GoFundMe about themselves. But it typically is a friend of a friend or a distant relative or somebody that's organizing something within their town to help out because they see the people in need. So there's definitely families out there, and it's hard to find the people that don't want to or that are not willing to ask for help. But there is ways. And then on the anonymous standpoint, if we were to go out there and find those people and they want to remain anonymous, then we will absolutely respect their help. I told this story yesterday on an AMA, but it was about Tony Robbins, and I really do think that Tony Robbins is a very inspirational person. He's a motivational speaker and one of the people that really got me interested in the speaking space. And what got me so excited about this Thanksgiving was he tells a story when he was 10 years old and his family had no money. And he didn't even know it because he saw his parents struggle. He saw his father struggle, but his father never asked for a handout, never asked for help. So on Thanksgiving Day, they were eating fast food and they barely could afford it. They were eating like ramen noodles and whatever it may be. And their neighbor, who really never spoke to Tony's father, dropped the turkey off at their doorstep, rang the doorbell, and Tony's father opened the door and slammed it in his face because he felt embarrassed. It wasn't like he was being rude. He just felt embarrassed. So by doing that, he goes back inside, he cools down. About half an hour later, they had a Thanksgiving dinner. He accepted and appreciated that turkey. A lot of times that people need help, they're too embarrassed to ask. And in the beginning of when they do receive help, they feel guilty or they feel because they're prideful. And I absolutely understand that. But it does get to a point where people really genuinely need help. And that's where we come in. That's where Community Coin comes in, to find those people who are looking for avenues but keeping their mouth shut to get that help that they need to get back on their feet. It's not a handout. I know DC mentioned this before. It's not a handout to those homeless people that are maybe a little bit fake homeless. And unfortunately, there are people that will beg for money on the side of the road and then go back home with an iPhone 14 and Michael Jordan sneakers. And it's hard to see which people really need the help. But finding those people and finding those people that are trying to be anonymous, there's different avenues, there's different ways, there's different organizations, kind of like, I like to think of it like anonymous hotlines that they actually can call to. There's great websites out there to find those families. And that's what we are doing. And if they don't want the news story behind it, if they don't want their names being revealed, that's perfectly understandable too, because I know that people have a lot of pride and they want to be able to provide for their families. They want to be able to provide for themselves. And they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to put on a persona to the rest of the world where they need handouts. And that's the people that we're trying to find. And like I said, it's a difficult task. It is difficult, but we are going the extra mile to help those people out because those people need it the most.
Yeah, man, absolutely, dude. And I like what you said because this is something that you and I are both like pretty big on. It's the fact that see. Now, I'm big on calling people broke and calling people and, talking about people not having money. And the reason why is because most people, like, okay, let's say if somebody only has like $2,000 in their bank account, somebody only has $2,000 in their bank. Someone else may have $100,000 in their bank, but they're $500,000 in debt. You're broke-er. And we have a lot of people who are pretending to have money and making fun of other people because they don't pretend to have money as well as they pretend to have money, when really y'all are in the same boat. One of y'all just is better at pretending and looking better. But that's just my 2 cents because that's something I'm big on. But anyhow, man, so tell us about right now we're in pretty terrible times in the market right now. Your project is not going to be at its best unless it can make it to the next bull run, man. So tell us some things that you guys are doing as a charity coin, to make it throughout the duration to the next bull run. Because a lot of people talk about, we got this marketing coming up. We got not only the marketing, but we got these partnerships coming up. But a lot of people don't have money like that. Like, it takes money to make your project last. So tell me, what are you guys just doing in general to ensure that your project lasts when the next bull run hits, which is the next halving is expected to be 2024 February. So around that time frame, what are you guys doing to make it last?
Absolutely. And if we're here listening, we are not foreign to the fact that we in a difficult bear market. When I got really involved in this space, we were at its peak of a bull market. Everything was flying, and I know DC was mentioning this yesterday on a different AMA, saying that things were going crazy. Basically, everything you touched was turning to gold, and you felt like people were making money hand over fist. Every single project, no matter what it is, it could be the computer mouse coin was going crazy, and people were making money left and right. We are in a difficult time, but I think that it's the best time to get started because it's a reset. Right now, we're in this bear market where the volume is down tremendously. People are scared. People are spending money at the grocery store and at the pump, so they're not putting it into cryptocurrencies. Absolutely, and that's understandable. But I do feel like this is the best time frame to get that foundation, to build, to create the building blocks so that by the next bull run, it's not a matter of if a bull run happens, it's a matter of when, in my opinion. And when that happens, the coins that stuck around, the projects that stuck around are going to be tremendously successful. I knew this was going to be a slow and steady race. I knew it. I remember when I started that first project, I was excited because I was like, this is going to take off quickly. I see the market. I see what's going on. But now I'm understanding that it doesn't have to be built in one day. Rome wasn't built in one day, and neither will Community Coin. It's a slow and steady build. So we are looking at this part of the coin as the foundation stage. This part of the coin is the foundation stage. We are building the blocks, getting the right people involved within the community, getting the right things done so we can help people in the short term so that in the long term, we can help as many people as possible. So what are we doing to stick around? We are doing all that we can so far. Marketing. We've run PooCoin ads. We've run ads on barstoolsports.com. We've run different sponsored Twitter posts and Instagram posts, doing the whole song and dance that most coins will do. Absolutely. Running those Instagram influencers, X, Y, and Z, doing AMAs, getting the word out. A lot of it right now has been word of mouth. I even think of this as word of mouth because I'm speaking about the coin to you all. What else do we have on the horizon? Well, I just met with the CBS News representative, and they are going to be covering us and doing different pieces on Community Coin the more that we do. So being a quote-unquote 501c3 in preparation project, we are doing charity. We are giving back. We are helping out. By doing that, you get press. By getting press, you get more eyes and ears on it. So running these news press releases, getting these different people to cover us, that's going to help tremendously keep us sticking around. Building the community through different competitions, through different types of events. Like, for example, tonight we're having a poker night in the Discord where the winner will be getting B&B and also will be matching the winner's B&B to a charity of their choice. So we can give money already in the short term to different charities. We are also, like I said, I'm meeting with Barstool Sports about a co-partnership, about a co-brandship. I'm trying to think of the exact words. I keep using different words when I talk about them, but working in conjunction with Barstool Sports about different things down the road where we can help in coalition to help as many people. Because as we all know, Barstool Sports and Dave Portnoy helped so many different small businesses around the United States during COVID-19. So we are working, fingers crossed, that we can get something done with them. And at the base of it, Community Coin is a community, and everything within it is a democracy. We have everything is voted upon. So we have different people within the community. Every single person has a voice. Every single person has a say. So whatever we're looking to do next, people can provide ideas. They can provide advice. They can provide different things in which that they say, hey, what's the Community Coin going to do next? Because I'm the first one to admit if something's not working. Let's say we're trying something out, marketing somewhere, and it's not working. We hit a roadblock. It's okay. We're going to go a different route because I know that this path to success is not A to B. It's going to be A, we're going to hop to D, E, F. We're going to go to X, Y, and Z. And then we're going to get to our final destination because I genuinely believe so. So how do we stick around? We're going to be doing as many different marketing tools as possible, posting and blasting this out everywhere. I'm going to be doing as many AMAs, as many interviews, as many things in not just the crypto space, but the real world space, because that's the target that I like to push, because we are currently the coin that gives back, but the goal is to be the new way to give. And we want to go to these news sources, like I said, CBS News, talk to Barstool Sports about what community coin is. And people are going to be confused about it. They're going to say, well, what is this cryptocurrency? But that's where I come in and try to explain it in the most base level terms so that they understand that this is a new way to give and that they could be a part of something special and something that's very important and something that could be really big. To be the first ever 501c3 nonprofit crypto project, that's going to take a lot of work, but that's what we're doing during this foundation time. So during the time where it's this bear market, before the bull market, we're getting all of our affairs in order, talking to different lawyers, talking to different accountants, talking to different people in the political space about getting that 501c3 license so that we can move forward when the time is ready. When that bull market comes back around, we can say, hey, look what we did during the bear market. We donated X amount of money. We helped this many families. We got our 501c3 nonprofit license. We gave out to the holders X amount of BNB and X amount of BUSD. We have already established us with this very credible resume during some difficult times in an uphill battle so that when it's time to really run downhill and to get as much steam and as much traction, we're going to be ready for the dance. And it's going to be difficult. This is, you know how that saying is, I'm sure that people always say like, oh, we used to walk to school uphill both ways. That's what it's like being in this market right now. It's kind of walking uphill in every single way possible, working 24/7 to get this done. But we know that only the strong will survive. And if we can continuously survive and continuously push forward, then we're going to advance in the future. And I can't wait for it by doing these AMAs, by getting our 501c3, by talking to different news outlets and news sources, by actually donating and giving back and running these Thanksgiving charity events, running an event during Christmas to give out toys to orphan children. If there's a hurricane or a tornado, whatever it is, be boots on the ground helping out. It's going to be a slow and steady race, and the community knows that. The people that are interested and are willing to be a part of Community Coin understand that it's going to be a difficult process, but they're excited for the work and the road ahead because they can see the big picture. They can see the end goal, and they can see how impressive this could really be. So there's a lot of things that we can do in the short term, and I encourage you all to check out the website communitycoin.love, or I encourage you to even join the Discord or the Telegram to come to our weekly town halls and just listen and just listen and provide some advice, provide some feedback, and say, hey, maybe we can try this. And I will listen to every single voice. I'll say, yeah, maybe we can try this. Let's weigh the pros and cons. Let's vote on what we do next. Let's vote on where we want to market. Let's vote on where we want to go, because it's a communal effort and we have strength in numbers. And the more people that get involved, the more that we can really push this thing forward.
Perfect answer, man. Another thing I wanted to touch on too, because we're getting close to wrapping up. In terms of like, if you ask anybody, like, what is your favorite charity coin in this space right now? Like, most people just couldn't say nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? And like, why is that, man? Why have most charities just not done so well? You know, and how are you guys replacing them and saying, you guys did it wrong this way? Didn't market it long enough, didn't push hard enough, didn't get the right people on board, and this is how we're doing it right.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people out there that talk a lot and they say a lot of things about what they're going to do, and they don't really back up their words with actions. I think my resume has proven that before. I always talk about honesty and transparency, and by fully doxing myself and by fully talking every day. I do video updates within the community every single day about what's going on, about what's next, what we're doing, what we're working on. I do those weekly town halls where people can openly ask questions. They can unmute their mics and talk to me one-on-one. I've done Zoom meetings with different people that have been interested in the coin. With my last project, I donated $50,000 to different charities and foundations, which had a really great impact.
And we're
putting our money where our mouth is now too, donating $2,500 on day 4. A lot of projects says, we could worry about that later on. We could have the idea of a charity coin, but we'll donate those funds at a later date. By actually helping out and finding these families, the way to prove that you're legitimate is by being legitimate, is by putting your money where your mouth is and actually doing the things that you say. So I'm excited for people to doubt us, doubt Community Coin, doubt myself, and doubt all of the great things that we're going to do, because we're going to continuously prove you wrong. I can't wait to be on Thanksgiving saying, hey, we helped out X amount of families. We helped out this many people during this difficult time. And people are going to say, you know what, they actually did well, but maybe I'm still a little hesitant. And then I'm excited for Christmas time when they say, we handed out X amount of toys to orphan children. That's fantastic. And then they're going to say, well, maybe it's still short term. Maybe they're still a little bit fake or fraudulent. And then I'm excited for the next thing that happens. Or unfortunately, there's probably another natural disaster at some point, just how it goes. Like the unfortunate events of Hurricane Ian before. And then saying, oh, well, Grant actually flew down there and helped out, give out water and give out food during this difficult time. I'm just excited to keep proving people wrong. So there's a lot of people in the space that are fraudulent, and they use charity as a I like to say a scapegoat, and they like to use it as a trigger word or a buzzword to get people involved. But people have to be wary and have to understand that not a lot of them are really out to help. But at the root of it, this is the part that I really love, is we're looking to be a non-for-profit. So to be a nonprofit, you have to follow all of the nonprofit rules. By doing so, I'm not taking a salary. I don't have any wallets. I'm doing this because I want to help people. And people could say, oh, yeah, that sounds like BS. Come join the community, and I will prove you wrong time and time again, because this is where we're different. This is where I genuinely want to help people. I've been so fortunate in so many different ways in my life that I'm excited to give back, and I'm excited to help out, because that does so much more for you in the long run than a couple bucks in the short term. I genuinely believe that gratitude reciprocates, and I absolutely believe that good people can do great things. And I think that doing great things for people gives you tremendous returns in the future. And success to me isn't about a dollar figure. It isn't about what's in a bank account. Success to me is about touching and helping as many people as you can. That's why I do what I do with my mental health company, because I really believe that there's a stigma out there about mental health and about different people that don't want to speak up, that don't want to say, hey, I'm struggling with anxiety. I'm struggling with depression. I can't catch a break right now. Because I want to be there telling them that it's all right. You can get through it. You are the author of your own life. You can write whatever story you want. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I do Community Coin, because I genuinely believe that there's a lot more good people out there than we really see. Because the news is a tricky thing to me, because you turn on the news, all they say is, oh, somebody got shot, somebody got hit by a train. They only show you the bad things, but they don't show you the great things in life. Maybe a small section of the news. But I'm there to show that there's more good in people than people believe. I'm there to show that we can do so much with strength in numbers. And this was another long-winded answer, but I just love to go on these rants, because this is what I'm passionate about. I really, really want to help people. I want to see that direct impact, because I'm sure that during Christmas time or whatever, I'm sure that everybody here, whoever receives a gift, they feel so much more peace and happier when they give a gift. And that's what I'm trying to pull out of people. I'm trying to get those people that are energy fountains and not energy drainers. They are not people that suck the life out of a situation. They are not people that always take and are greedy. But they are people that continuously help over and over again, because they know that their impact is so much more than if they were to receive something. I don't even know if I answered your question, DC, but that's just that's my honest 2 cents.
No. You answered the question, man. And you answered it with your character too, dude. And you can also find Grant on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, connect with me, man. Anybody wants to know who I am, like I said, I'm fully doxxed. I am as real as you could probably get in the crypto space, because I know the great work that we're going to do, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud to put my name behind this. I'm proud to put my image behind this, because I see the future and I can see all of the great things that this will do.
Yeah, 100%. I'm behind you, man. And we're about to get to the AMA now, so y'all can go ahead and start raising your hands. I'll start unmuting y'all one by one so y'all can ask your questions. Then we're gonna get to the people in the chat, because we got to respect the people who want to talk, because no telling what time restraint they're on. We're not being prejudiced. We're not being biased. We just got to respect everybody according to their time and their energy, man. But yeah, Grant. And one thing I don't know if you heard this too, because you're talking about mental health stigma. I don't know if you heard this too, but one of my friends was a psychology major, and one thing that he was saying is that they say that they statistically have proved that every person will struggle with a diagnosable mental health issue at some point in their life, whether it's insomnia for like 5 months, or whether it's a bout of anxiety for a year, or struggling with depression for 3 months. Everybody's going to struggle with something, is what I've heard.
Absolutely. And there's a stigma about it. There really is. Not a lot of people believe it, or if they think just because you're a man that you should man up and not talk about your feelings, not talk about what you actually believe. But there's a lot more people out there suffering than we know. And that's what I do. That's why I do what I do. Because if a person like me, who's confident, who's typically outgoing and outspoken, can talk about these things that say, hey, these things plague my life, and I'm looking to help and give back so that other people don't have to go through those struggles, and they know that they're not alone.
Got you, man. Well, let's go ahead and get to these questions. Bull Rider, I see your hand up first. Let me get you. Bull Rider, your mic is unmuted. You may ask your question, man. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. And it has been a wonderful presentation, and the project is one of the projects that is much needed in the space, because sometimes we should be thinking of others, not just ourselves. That is very commendable. What I want to ask is, which country, or let's say region, would the team focus their attention on? Because we have so many maybe countries that are in their need of help, and such, let's say, such projects mostly do not reach such countries. So which countries would the team focus their attention on? That is the question I have. Thank you very much.
Bull Rider, fantastic question. Absolutely. So currently, the charity that we donated to is Save the Children. Save the Children works in 192 different countries around the world. They help out with so many different people. The nature of the beast is we are currently finding families and finding people within the United States, because that's where I'm from. I'm from the United States. I'm from New York originally. So we're finding people within the United States. However, the train doesn't stop there. We have international holders from Ireland to England to Australia already in the community, already out there giving their voice, already out there talking about Community Coin and being involved. But the ultimate goal is, a lot of people in the United States are pretty fortunate. The average salary in the United States is $42,000 a year. $42,000 a year in some countries around the world would be monumental. So we're looking for those people, whether that's in Asia, whether that's in India, whether that's in Africa, to help out. We're looking to get there. And I really do believe that we will become worldwide in terms of our reach, in terms of how many people that we can help. In the short term, we are focusing on what we can do at home for the people, for most of the community. But as the community expands, and as the community says, hey, we're going to be targeting Asian audiences or Indian audiences, whether through our marketing, whatever it may be, then we're going to target those people and say, hey, those people really need help. Those people need something. Or let's say there's, I like to bring up this reference. I don't like to bring it up because it was awful. I know people that actually passed away there too, was in Haiti when they had that horrible earthquake. That's something that we could go to and say, hey, these people really need help. They need help building homes. They need help doing this, that, and the other. That's what we can do. That's our focus, is things are going to come up in life around the world, and that we're going to be there to help. In the short term, our focus is in the United States. That's just because that's what we know. That's where we're at. That's where I'm at. However, in the long run and in the medium run, I guess, we're going to find more people that need help, and we're going to be there helping out. We're going to be there with our boots on the ground to get there. So great question. Great question. We are not limited in the terms of the reach that we're going to get. However, we will get there someday.
All right. Thank you very much.
Man, I got you, man. Great question, dude. Thanks. Hey, Grant, I just thought something funny, man. What if somebody like made a fake account about you and they said they called you Capitalist Grant and it had like a reverse giving hand as a logo? And it said, "We'll always DM you." That's just funny to me. All right, Ryan.
They made that?
No, I say it'd be funny if someone made a copy of you and it said Capitalist Grant with like a reverse hand and everything.
The thing is, I wouldn't doubt it because we were talking about haters yesterday. There's going to be haters. There's going to be doubters out there. There's going to be people that say this, that, and the other about me, and that's okay. I'll just continuously prove them wrong. The Community Coin will continuously prove them wrong through our actions.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, your mic is on mute. You can go ahead and ask your question. Iwanobia, I'll come to you next.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hear you loud and clear.
Okay. My question is about the charity. So how is the donation process managed, and does it come from having to sell the token in any exchange to like BNB and then cash to the paid donation, or you will donate only working with this charity who accept crypto donations?
Great question. So from my understanding, I think that you're asking, where does that donation come from? So part of the buy and the sell tax goes directly to the community pool. That community pool is used for charity donations, is used for this communal pool. So there doesn't the token is automatically transferred into BUSD. And I also think that part of your question too was asking is if we'll donate to charities that don't accept crypto. So yes, there's charities out there that accept crypto. The first one that we donated to accepted crypto. However, that's not our only interest. We are looking for charities and looking for people that don't accept crypto. Community Coin is run by an LLC that takes money from crypto and converts it to US dollars and real cash, and using those resources, using those funds to be put to a direct use for the community, for charity. So I think you asked a couple of different questions, if that was my understanding. But we're going to donate to charities that don't just accept crypto, that are not just in the crypto space, because we're not looking at this as just a charity. We're looking at this as the new way to give. And the new way to give is going to be through Community Coin as the first ever 501c3 nonprofit crypto project ever.
Okay, that's awesome. Thanks for answering, and thanks DC for the opportunity.
Of course, man. Absolutely, dude. Iwanobia, your mic's getting unmuted right now. There you go. Floor is yours. Go ahead and ask your question. Mohammed, you're going up next, man.
DC, I'm here, man.
What's up? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. There are some questions on the chat. Actually,
wait a minute. Wait, we got to go to Iwanobia real quick, man. We got to go to her first because I called her out. So, Iwanobia, let me give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Amos, go ahead, man. Mohammed, you're going up next.
I posted my question on the chat. Where I am is actually noisy. If you can just.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get to your question as soon as we get done with Mohammed. Anyone else who has to raise their hand, I'm gonna get right to you, man. All righty, Mohammed, your mic's unmuted. Go ahead and take the floor, dude.
Is my sound clear, sir?
There you go. Yeah, you're good. We can hear you nice.
Okay, my question is, where you will donate to the next donation, and from where you know is there is really need to donating. Thank you.
I lost you for a little bit, but I think his question, DC, was did he say when is our next donation?
Yeah, where are you going to donate to next is what he was asking.
Oh, great question. So the first donation was Right to Save the Children. However, this November donation is going to be for Thanksgiving. We are going to be sponsoring different families during Thanksgiving where we pay for their groceries. And I hinted this before, but our donation this time is direct impact, is directly to people in need so they can grocery shop, so they can provide food and resources for their family during this time of thanks. So it's going to be by the end of this month, by that November 24th, when Thanksgiving really is. And that's our main focus on our next donation. And then donations after that are going to be decided upon by the community and decided upon by the people that are holding the community coin. So the next one is at the end of the month. We're aiming to do one a month, and whether it's a different event, whether that's just a cash donation, whether that is doing something in terms of direct impact, direct relief. That's the goal. That's exactly what we're doing. That's how we're helping out and giving back.
Are you make survey to them? And do you think they are really need your donation for make sure you are not being scammed?
I lost you for a second too. I think you were asking if these people really need the help, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the families that we're looking for are the people that were dealt a bad hand, whether that was their homes could have burned down, or which is horrible, and you see that a lot more than you really do think. Whether that was their children might be suffering from different illnesses, whether that was they are just down on their luck and they lost their job and they're providing for 4 or 5 children and they are not able to grocery shop because they have to put clothes on their children's back and put gas in their car so they can go work 90 to 120 hours a week. So we're finding those families, and not just those people that might fake need help, those people that are takers. We're looking for the people that would give their last dollar, and they probably have, to the people that they love. And that's the people that we're looking to help out, because they don't need a hand, they just need a hand up. And they don't need a hand out, they just need a hand up. We need to pick them up off the ground, get their life back in order so that they can move forward and they can continue on, because that's their ultimate goal. They don't want handouts. They don't want people to do all of this for them. They just want to get back on their feet. And they could have been dealt a bad hand, but we're looking to deal them a better hand. And we're looking to get them a new deck of cards.
It's good, man. Don't let it to goes to the wrong hand. Full support for you, man, and your community.
All right, man. Yeah, no problem. All right, PCI, you can go up next. Yo, PCI. Oh, you dropped.
Forget my question on the chat, man.
All right.
I had to raise my telegram because he wasn't letting me to speak. But thank you. My question is regarding the help. I know you are situated right now in United States, because Mexico is next to you, and also like Latin America, which is near. I want to ask if you are targeting like when you are trying to expand to the next step. I wanted to ask if you are going to trying to go to South America, since it is the nearest let's say continent. And yeah, because I want to tell a personal experience that I had recently with a friend. It is the first time that this has happened to me. She's from Mexico, actually. So I knew her I think 5-6 months ago, and she had this this health mental problems, and she tried to kill herself by I don't know what she was gonna do, but she was telling me that she cannot handle it anymore, and more sad stuff, and I don't know what to do. So, well, at that moment I didn't know what to do, and so it will be good to, I don't know, just telling you to, if you are going to try and go there the community, because since they are, like closest to you in the future when you'd spend,
Definitely, and thank you for sharing that. That's a tremendously difficult situation, and we as Community Coin, we like we said, we just started less than 3 weeks ago. Right now our focus is on the United States. However, our main objective, our main goal is to touch as many lives as possible. And that doesn't not just have to be in money. It doesn't just have to be in giving somebody a few dollars. That could also be in that mental health. That could also be people with disability. That could be people that are just down on their luck and they're looking for opportunities to get a job. We are absolutely looking for to expand across different continents: South America, Latin America, Asia, Europe, whatever it is. We currently have holders from I think almost every continent besides Antarctica, of course. But we are looking to expand worldwide, and we are definitely looking to do that at some point. I wouldn't say in the near future, but in the next few months, I believe that's the goal. However, we're definitely there to help people out, and it's going to be more than just people that are homeless or people that need just a quick buck. It's going to be people that have mental health issues, because, like I said, that's my passion in life, and I love to help people out in that sense. And we are going to continue expanding and moving to help out as many people as possible. So definitely looking at South America, looking at Asia, looking at India, looking at different places to help out and to give back.
I was trying to like contact the police or something like related to help, because since I am from Colombia, I didn't have like any way to to try to contact her, because I was calling her like constant to her cell phone, but she didn't answer. You as a human, you think of the worst at first, right? So I was trying to like contact any social media when it comes to help, like depression and other stuff, but I didn't manage to to get any help from them. So it will be good to have you there, since I know you're reliable and you actually can help people. But luckily she didn't commit it, but I was really scared. Depression's
Absolutely, man.
very serious stuff.
It's a tough battle. It absolutely is. It's a very tough battle, and there's the good thing is that the mental health field is expanding daily. Whether there's different resources out there, whether there's different hotlines, whether there's different support systems. It's about getting the people that really need that help. The hardest part is talking about it. The hardest part is voicing that they need help. So if she's out there and she's looking for help, she's doing great, and it's difficult. However, there's different avenues, different forms, and different ways that people can go find that help, and different outlets in which they can receive it. So it's definitely a difficult battle, and you're in a tough spot because you're hearing it and you're seeing it secondhand. But just urge her to continue looking for help, talking to trained professionals, talking to people that can get her out of this rut and continue moving on and living her best life.
Yeah. Depression, I think, is has been rising lately, like over, I don't know, the past 40 years or 30 years, because due to many stuff. One of them, I think, is the economy side of of life. It is really great what you're doing, guys. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Boom. Let's get Lord Bullish. I think you were first. Where's Lord Bullish at? Lord Bullish. Oh man, he dropped off. All right, there it goes. Boom. Lord Bullish, mic is unmuted. Go ahead, man. Van Allen, you're going up next. Lord Bullish, we are waiting on you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. You got
Thank you. So I was wondering, I don't know if I missed this because I'm at work right now, so I've not been paying that much attention. But I was wondering if there's like a plan to make this, let me just say, make it like a day app of like total community well-being that will involve both um both mental health, charity, just things, you understand, things on that vibe, on that level of like of improving a person up, not just only for charity, maybe motivational stuff. I don't know. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say. This is already
I- I'm
good
I'm a
that
little I'm a little bit
people
confused as to what
community.
you were asking.
No, I was saying, is there any plan to include a utility? Let me say, make this community coin have a utility of community well-being that will involve mental health, just like growing.
Oh man. Oh no.
Sorry, I got cut off. I don't know. But do you hear me?
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you understand.
I hear you
I know
now.
it's complicated.
I hear you.
So I said I was wondering if okay. There was any plan to make it like a, since you're already good at, you say you worked in the area of mental health in the past. So I was wondering if you are incorporating that into your utility. Let me say you're grabbing that movement of like mental health, adding it with the charity, adding it to maybe other self-improvement aspects, and like making it the total utility of community coin as a whole. Maybe building up a person, a coin that will, I'm losing words
I
here, but I don't know
No,
if
no,
that makes sense.
definitely. I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. There's we are open to as many different things as possible in the future, and mental health is becoming, like I said, it's my passion. It's becoming more talked about every day, which is unbelievable, which is the best thing to do. We would love to incorporate that into Community Coin at some point. We have the ultimate goal of being that 501c3, that nonprofit crypto project, where people can to join the Community Coin. They're going to be able to write that off against their taxes. That's the ultimate goal. So it's going to help the holder. It's going to help so many different charities and different people around the world. We are looking to expand into that mental health field at some point. We are looking to do as whatever we can to get into that as part of the utility. So definitely, that's going to be something that's decided upon by the community. I love that idea, and I appreciate you asking that question. And I genuinely do see that happening at some point in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Man, I forgot your name. I think it was Alan something. Yeah, but go ahead, and I'm gonna give you a chance to raise your hand. If not, I'm gonna go to Ojo Legend. Once you raise your hand, because I know I told you I'd call on you. All right, I gotta go ahead and let Ojo Legend go. All right, Ojo, go ahead, man. Ojo, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, hello guys, how you doing?
How's it going?
Good, man.
Yeah, I'm good. Actually, I came a bit late. I was just trying to go through your website and your Telegram group, so I actually don't really have much to ask, anyways. So I will just
Awesome.
listen to
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And if you, any questions at all, please feel free to join that the Discord, the Telegram. Check out our website, communitycoin.love, and just you being here is really incredible. So thank you for being here.
All righty, thanks for being here, sir. Let's go ahead and go.
Question, DC.
Who just said that? Yeah, please do it.
Okay. Amazing project you've got, community grant. So I kind of appreciate your thoughts about the poor. And my question is just about voluntary donations on this your mission. I just want to ask, will there be a chance to contribute on this amazing project based on fiat payments, just in case someone is not into crypto? And I'm greatly moved by this your mission, and I would like to share this to other people around me. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. So currently, the donation aspect is mostly generated by people joining the Community Coin, being a holder, and part of that tax going directly to the community pool. going to that pool that's going to help out different organizations. People can send direct to that charity wallet, to the community wallet, the community pool wallet, if they're interested. Like I said, that goal is to be that 501c3. So we are looking for as many different avenues as possible to join and to help give back. So whether that is joining the community directly by doing that, or just donating and giving, like you said, fiat, or giving U.S. dollars, or giving BNB, whatever that is, to help out and to give back, we are looking to do so. And that's our main goal. That's our main mission, is to help out as many people as possible. And if people are looking for different avenues to do so, and they're looking to get involved, I urge them to look out the website, communitycoin.love, to talk to me, to join the community, and to see any way that they can help.
Okay, amazing, man. Thanks.
Boom. And that is his question. All right, Van Allen, I see you in here now. I unmuted your mic. Go ahead, man. Man, all that trouble I went through, you better speak on this mic. All righty. Well, let's go to the comments. Let's see. All right, so we got, I think it was Tiago. He was asking, okay, I can't find it, but I'll rephrase it. All right, here it goes. There are so many investors just focusing on the price of the token in the short-term period instead of real technology of the project. Can you tell? All right, so I'll just rephrase that. He pretty much wants to know, like, outside, like, what's going to make people want to invest in the project is what he's pretty much asking. Like, what type of investor would want to invest? You know, just people who are looking to make money. Like, why would they invest to just make money? Because some folks, they don't necessarily care about the charity. They'll invest because they think that the charity is good. And because they think the charity is good, they think the price will be good. So could you speak on those people?
Most definitely. Absolutely. So yes, as a holder, there is a 5% BUSD reward. That is fantastic in the crypto space, and people really do love that. There's also different reasons to be involved. Like we said, those weekly competitions to win BNB, to have the chance to win different prizes. That's another perk. Another perk is having your voice heard. You have some sort of ownership within the coin, because whatever you say will be put up to a vote, and will have a community around you figuring out if they want to see that direction. There's also the possibility of NFTs down the line. There's the possibility of different partnerships, whether that's with Barstool Sports, whether that's with different news outlets, whether that's with different companies or organizations or even foundations within that. But the main goal is that 501c3. And for people that don't understand or don't know what that 501c3 is, that nonprofit, is by joining Community Coin, by buying Community Coin, you'll be able to write that off against your taxes at a future date. So by doing that is really advantageous to the holder, because I know that taxes are a big thing that people are always trying to figure out and always trying to look at different ways that they can give back and donate. Hopefully, fingers crossed, which I really do believe, is that Community Coin one day will be able to be written off against your taxes because of all the great things that it's doing. And another great perk too is this is early. It's day 19, and you can get in on the ground floor of something that's pretty exciting. And by doing so, those early holders, those early people, they typically get rewarded so tremendously much. Whether that's just with those holder rewards, whether that's with the numbers of people growing, to be one of the first 250, first 500 is really, really early in that space. And there's so many different perks. There's so many different ways in which people can benefit from this. That's more than just giving back and helping out in the community.
Boom. And there you have it, Tiago. Next we got in the chat, next in the VC, we've got Mackin. All right. Mackin, your mic's on mute. Go ahead and ask the question, man. We got you. I
think somebody's on a motorcycle.
Yeah. Okay, so while he's getting on his mic, I'll go ahead and just ask another question. So David Roy wants to know, Are there any other coins that you're looking to partner with in the future, like coins in the space? That's what David wants to know.
I definitely think that could be a possibility in the future. We haven't looked into that currently. We're just trying to build that foundation of Community Coin now. But possibly in the future, we could be looking for something, some group, some type of partnership with different people that has same ideas, same types of vision. And I just know that I would never want to do something that would hurt the community, that would hurt the people involved. Or that is not decided upon by the current community. Whatever comes in the future, whatever is an idea or whatever is a possibility will be voted upon by the people because this coin is for the people and by the people.
Understood. Got it. Let's see. All right, so we draw the loop. I'm putting you on right now, man. There you go, man. Go ahead. We dropped the loop. Go ahead, man. We got your mic unmuted. In the meantime, be looking for some more in the chat. Let's see if anybody. Okay, how about, man? Somebody asked about the feature of a Gen wallet, and employers scheduling say, man, some people copy and paste and like pre-write questions and don't even know the project.
I might be silly, but I'm not exactly sure what that is.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. People must be typing and pasting. That's weird. I don't know why anybody would do that.
I thought for a second, I was like, is this a term that I never heard in the crypto space? I just Googled it. And I was like, I don't want to sound like a dumbass.
Dude, like, I feel you too, man. So we got Agent Friends Matthew. Oh yeah, shout out to my agent over there. Generic question I would like to know to Sir Grant: do they plan to make some documentary or videos about charities spreading awareness on this about the project?
That's a fantastic question, Agent Franz. So that's what we're currently working on. So today I have a meeting with Barstool Sports, and if you're unfamiliar with Barstool Sports, they are one of the leading producers in content for millennials, for those ages like 18 to 45, those people that are heavily involved in crypto. And by doing this, we are looking for a partnership where they can provide content to their audience about all of the great things that we're doing, because it'd be advantageous to both of us, because we are the ones helping out and they are the ones producing content. Because people love to see content of giving back, of helping, of charity, of philanthropy. So by doing this and by hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get something in the future, then that'll be fantastic. Like during the Thanksgiving time period, we will absolutely be producing content, be producing pictures, videos to send out to those news sources. That's also the reason why we met with CBS News, because they're excited about the possibility of that Thanksgiving, of the Thanksgiving charity event that we are running. So we are very excited about that. They will be producing national or regional news. Hopefully we can get some online different sources and different ways. Social media, obviously, we're already rock and rolling with that, but as many different ways as possible to get that word out there. So absolutely, we are looking for that, and we are going to do that with all of our great events, merchandise, video, picture, whatever it is, to get the word about Community Coin out.
Got you. And we got another question. I forgot who it was from, but this came from the chat. He wanted to know it was from Oscar. Oscar in the chat. Shout out Oscar. So pretty much what Oscar wanted to know is, what's the biggest challenge that you guys would face right now between, let me see what he listed real quick. He listed some, here we go. Between fast adoption, tight security, good partnerships. What would you say the biggest challenges that you guys are facing?
I think the biggest challenge right now is just the building block of the building blocks of creating the coin and getting people involved and getting the word out. I don't want to blame, I like to say the macro economy, but I don't like to blame the macro space of crypto because that's pointing the finger at something that you can't control. We can't control what's going on in the rest of the community. We can't control what's going on in the rest of the crypto space. However, it's a difficult task at hand because right now it's a bear market. And I saw a statistic the other day where NFT volume is down 97% off of its highs. That is crazy to me. It's terrible. It really is terrible, and it's a very uphill battle. It's a very tough battle. But the beauty of it is this is a time period where we don't have to focus on looking at the chart every 2 seconds and looking at something that's going to really explode overnight, because we're focused on getting things done tangibly. We already applied to CoinGecko, we already applied to CoinMarketCap, all of that, still waiting on that. We're already running ads on Barstool Sports. We're already running ads on PooCoin, whatever it may be. We're already doing these AMAs almost daily. We're already doing all these different things. So yes, absolutely, it's a difficult time to start a coin. It really is. Besides that, there's going to be difficulties. There's going to be roadblocks. But the truth is that we're expecting to get off track. We're expecting to hit these bumps in the road because we know that they're going to happen. And when that happens and we hit that roadblock, we're just going to pivot and go a different way. And we're going to keep moving forward. Whether that's running, flying, crawling, whatever it is, we're still going to continue to move forward. And there's going to be difficulties that arise. Right now, the overall market is a difficult space to control, but we can't control it, so we're not even paying attention to it. All we're trying to do is push forward and make this project the most sustainable and the best project that it can possibly be in the short term.
Boom. Great answer. Man, Grant can answer some questions. I can tell you that much.
Thank you.
Let me see if we got, so that's pretty much all for them. Let's see if we got, okay. So, yeah, all right. I guess we can get straight to the duck race. If Grant, you don't have anything else left to say, we can go ahead and head right on to the duck race or whatever type of giveaway style we're going to do today.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you all for being here and listening. Communitycoin.love is our website. Please check it out. That's kind of like the mothership of where everything is. All of our links to our socials, links to Telegram, links to Discord, white paper, any information that you're looking to find out about what exactly Community Coin is. My name is Grant Tragney. Like I said, I'm the founder of this coin, and I am so beyond grateful to be here speaking to you all. And I'm so unbelievably excited to change and to touch as many lives as possible, because I genuinely believe that Community Coin will be a pioneer in the crypto space and the new way to give back. Thank you all. You guys are fantastic, and I wish you all nothing but the best. Let's get on with the duck race.
Boom. That is it. And that concludes the AMA part of having Community Grant on the Safe Haven. And now it's to the duck race. Dumbledore, take it over.
Yo, positive vibes in here. I like that today. Good way to start the, I don't know, the midweek, I guess. Achilles, you in here? He said he might have to step away for 2 seconds on a phone call. I just wanted him to end the recording. I don't know if I can do that, but let me see if I can. I can.